Revelation chapter 8, verse 10 and 11. The third angel blew his trumpet, and a great star fell from heaven, blazing like a torch, and it fell on a third of the rivers and on the springs of water. The name of the star is wormwood. A third of the waters became wormwood, and many people died from the water, because it had been made bitter. Stars in the Bible often represent angels. Revelation chapter 1 verse 20. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches, and the 7 lampstands are the 7 churches. The fact that this star is characterized as great shows that a particular angel of an exalted rank is referenced here. This points to Isaiah 14 verse 12 to 15, which depicts Satan as the star of the morning, fallen from heaven. Later in Revelation, John describes Satan as the head of the fallen angels, who was cast from heaven to earth. Revelation 12 verse 9. And the great dragon was thrown down. That ancient serpent, who is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world, he was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. Revelation 12 verse 4. His tail swept down a third of the stars of heaven and cast them to the earth. The star is named wormwood. The wormwood star turns the waters bitter, causing many to die. The rivers and springs of water symbolize spiritual nourishment, the Word of God and salvation for spiritually thirsty people. Satan turns the gospel into wormwood by producing false teachings and human traditions. The scene of the third trumpet shows Satan polluting the springs and streams of truth and salvation with human teachings, causing them to have a poisonous and deadly effect. If the second trumpet concerns the collapse of the Roman Empire, then the third trumpet concerns the time after the Roman Empire. Paul warned early Christians of the approaching apostasy, when false teachers would pervert the gospel and introduce false teachings into the church. 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 3 and 4. For the time is coming when people will not endure sound teaching, but having itching ears they will accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own passions, and will turn away from listening to the truth and wander off into myths. He also predicted a great apostasy that would invade the church. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 3 and 4. Let no one deceive you in any way. For that day will not come, unless the rebellion comes first, and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the son of destruction, who opposes and exalts himself against every so-called God or object of worship, so that he takes his seat in the temple of God, proclaiming himself to be God. However, the apostasy would not come until the restrainer, the Roman Empire, was removed. Verse 7. For the mystery of lawlessness is already at work. Only he who now restrains it will do so until he is out of the way. After the collapse of the Roman Empire, the world was plunged into the Middle Ages. During this period, mainstream Christianity departed from the apostolic gospel and perverted the teaching of the Bible. Corrupted doctrines crept into the church, replacing the Bible with tradition and scholastic teachings. The gospel truth was polluted and perverted into a system of dogmas, with devastating effects. The institutional church promoted sinful practices that were contrary to the Bible. Therefore, the third trumpet describes the medieval apostasy and its consequences, the spiritual death of many who drank from its polluted and poisonous water.